Good morning. This is Lois DeWitt, and it's a beautiful day. I have a really nice cup of coffee here that's waiting for something to go with it. And what I'm going to be making today is the banana bread recipe, which is, by the way, in this cookbook twice, for breakfast banana bread and then just regular banana bread. It's the same recipe in my Pop It in the Toaster Oven cookbook. And I wrote a little note here. I've had some inquiries on my apron. This apron was made by a lady that lives in Wilmington here in North Carolina. I'm going to give you her email address, which is lb++@gmail.com. She does beautiful, beautiful aprons and other items, and does a lot of really lovely monogramming as well. As you can see, I have my name here and my palette, because I'm also an artist. I'll write that email into the description of this video as well, so you get it right if you want to contact her. So, banana bread. I love this recipe because all of the ingredients get put into the blender here, blended up, poured into a pan, and popped into the toaster oven. But before I start and show you the ingredients, I'm going to preheat my toaster oven to 400 degrees. Okay, so I have all my ingredients assembled, and so I'm going to be putting into the blender 2 ripe bananas, and if you want to use really ripe bananas, it's all the better. And then this is a half a cup of milk. This is 2% organic milk, which is really nice. Then I'm also adding 3/4 of a cup of, in the recipe I have trail mix specified, but in this case it's going to be 3/4 of a cup of ground walnuts because I had them on hand. 1 egg, 1 cup of unbleached flour. Then I'm also going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Let's level that off. 2 tablespoons honey, and this is organic honey. So there's 1. Takes you into a different time zone, doesn't it? Then also 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. You know, I'm going to use the cold press olive oil, my favorite oil. It's a lovely, healthy oil. You won't taste it, but even if there's a little olive oil taste, that's fine with me. And then I'm going to add salt to taste, and I think probably about 1/2 teaspoon here. For me, I like salt. Now I'm just going to blend those ingredients all together. I blended this nice and smooth. I did have to scrape down the sides of the blender a little bit. The batter is fairly thick, so you might have to do that to make it nice and smooth. This is going into a 8.5 by 4.5 by 2.25 little bread pan that'll fit just perfectly into the toaster oven. If you want, you can use a cake pan too. Okay, so the banana bread batter in the little bread pan is going right into the toaster oven at 400 degrees. That's a non-stick pan. If you have a pan that's not non-stick, you can oil it. Actually, I oiled that pan anyway, just a little bit. So 400 degrees, I'm going to set the timer for 40 minutes. And then right around that time, I'm going to test it by inserting a toothpick into the middle of the bread. And if it comes out clean, then I know it's done. And there's the beautiful banana bread. It did take 40 minutes, and I tested it with a skewer and inserted it, and it came out dry. So it is quite done. Now you'll find if you make this recipe, this is a very moist bread. It still has a lot of, almost like a pudding-like, it's cooked, but it has a very pudding-like texture to it, which is very, very nice with a nice cup of coffee and butter. I'm going to put some butter on it. So just butter these pieces up. The butter will melt right away because the pieces are still hot. Is this a lovely breakfast? It's good anytime. And I think you can splurge with the butter because there really isn't very many fattening ingredients in this banana bread. So let's give it the taste test. Very, very moist. Great with coffee. Great combination, coffee and banana bread. Goes good with tea too. Give it a try.